Hey everyone, welcome back and thanks for joining us on this lesson where we are going to explore how to find the factors of a trinomial.
Cool.
Now before we get into any algebra, let's think about a triathlon. We know that a triathlon has three events: swimming, biking, and running. The prefix tri meaning three. When we see the word trinomial, we're thinking of three terms. So we have an ax squared term, a bx term, and a c term. And we're going to learn how to factor trinomials of this form whenever a is equal to 1. That means that the a term, that coefficient in front of the x squared, is going to equal 1. And in most cases, we're not even going to see the 1 there because when the coefficient is 1, we just leave it out and we're just going to see x squared. So let's start by building on something that we already know, and that is how to multiply binomials. Now we're going to use the FOIL method here, but you can use any method that you want. In this case, we want to multiply x plus 2 by x plus 3. So using FOIL or by double distributing, whatever you call it, we multiply the first terms together. X times x is x squared. Then the outer terms, x times 3 is just 3x. Then the inner terms, 2 times x is just positive 2x. And then finally the last terms, positive 2 times positive 3, just equals 6. Now notice here that 3x and 2x in the middle, those are like terms which we can combine. 3x plus 2x equals 5x. And now we can rewrite this as a trinomial, again where a equals 1, b equals 5, and c equals 6. And again, we're not going to put that 1 in front of the x squared. We're just going to leave it out. So now we have the trinomial x squared plus 5x plus 6. Now notice here that that middle term of 5x we got through addition. Remember, we added the 3x and the 2x, or adding 3 and 2 will get us 5. And also notice that our outside term, our c term of 6, we got by multiplication, which was from multiplying 2 and 3 together, again, which equals 6. So we got our middle term by adding and our outside term by multiplying. And this is an important relationship with trinomials that's going to help us to factor them. So whenever we try to factor a trinomial in this form when a equals 1, okay, we want to find the two binomials that when multiplied together would get the original trinomial back. And what we want to find is two numbers that add to b, the middle term, and also multiply to c, the outside term. So for example, if we had the trinomial x squared plus 6x plus 8 and we wanted to factor it, we need to find two numbers that add to positive 6 and multiply to positive 8. Now these aren't too hard to find. If we think about this, we should figure out that 4 and 2 are going to be our factors, since 4 plus 2 equals 6 and 4 times 2 equals 8. So the factors of this trinomial are x plus 4 and x plus 2. What? Nice job, good job. Now we can check that answer by multiplying those two factors together, multiplying those two binomials. Okay, so x times x is x squared, x times 2 is 2x, 4 times x is 4x, and 4 times 2 is 8. Again, combine like terms in the middle, 2x plus 4x is 6x. And when I rewrite this as a trinomial, I should notice that we get what we started with in the beginning. So I know that my factors are correct, and I'm ready to move on. So let's look at another example where we want to factor a trinomial, in this case x squared plus 9x plus 20. Now we know that our factors are going to be binomials. We just have to find the missing values that go inside of them. So remember that we're looking for two numbers that add to positive 9, the middle term, and also multiply to positive 20, the outside c term. So the best way to do this is to look at the c term, again, positive 20, and list the factors. So we could have 20 times 1, 10 times 2, or 5 times 4. So each of these pairs will multiply to 20, but we want to know which one of them will also add to 9, the coefficient of the middle term. So we want to go with 5 and 4, since 5 plus 4 equals 9 and 5 times 4 equals 20. So now we're ready to write our factors of x plus 5 and x plus 4. So just one more time here, 5 plus 4 equals 9, the middle term, 5 times 4 equals 20, the outside term. So for our next example, we want to factor the trinomial x squared minus 5x minus 24. So this trinomial has some minus signs in it, but the process is all still the same. We need to find two numbers that add to negative 5 and that multiply to negative 24. Just like the last example, let's go ahead and list the factors of negative 24. So we have 24 and 1, 12 and 2, 8 and 3, and 6 and 4. Now, since the 24 is negative, we have to assign a negative value to one of each factor. We can't do both because a negative times a negative would result in a positive. So either the first value is negative, while the second value is positive, or the other way around, where the second value is negative and the first value is positive. Now, our decision as to where to put that negative sign really depends upon finding which two values will have a sum of negative 5. Now, you probably have to play around with a few of these until you get it. If you notice, 8 and negative 3 has a sum of positive 5. So that's pretty close, but not the right sign. What we have to do is reverse that and put the negative sign with the 8, since negative 8 plus 3 does equal negative 5. So now we have our factors of x minus 8 times x plus 3. And again, notice that negative 8 plus 3 equals negative 5, and negative 8 times 3 equals negative 24. All right, so now we're ready for our final example. Let's factor the trinomial x squared minus 12x plus 27. So we need two numbers that add to negative 12 and multiply to positive 27. So let's go ahead and write down the factors of 27, which are 27 times 1, or 9 times 3. Now we want the two values whose sum is going to be negative 12. And we can see that 9 and 3 is probably going to be the way to go. We just have to figure out where we want to put that negative sign. Now our 27 is a positive number, so we're actually going to need two negative signs, since anytime we multiply two negatives together, we result in a positive. So we have negative 9 and negative 3, whose product is a positive 27, and whose sum is negative 12. So now we have our factors, x minus 9 and x minus 3. And again, we can do a quick check by seeing that negative 9 plus negative 3 equals negative 12, and negative 9 times negative 3 equals positive 27, and we're done. So here's a quick recap. Whenever we have a trinomial where the coefficient in front of the x squared is 1, or when a equals 1, we can find the factors by finding two values that add to the middle term b and multiply to the outside term c. And that's really all there is to it. So please don't let factoring trinomials make you crazy. We got you on this one. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Hey guys, thanks again for checking out that lesson. And remember that we are on Twitter at MashupMath. So please give us a follow and share some love. We'd love to hear what you think. Make some requests, video requests, whatever you want. We'll listen to them. I promise you, we want to hear what you're thinking. We'll see you next time.